One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be free. From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow, he takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report and paves his way. Oh, legend in the making, day by day.
It's a freaking topless Taco Tuesday, man. Hopefully everyone's enjoying the morning so far. I definitely know that we are. All right, so we got a lot of things to discuss this morning. We have a big ordeal going on with the Senate today. It's going to be an all-day affair, though. This is not something that I'm going to be able to cover within an hour. But just know that, you know, there's a lot of shit going on with the Senate going right now. Discussions on Obamacare and as well as AI. We have that update for you guys. Trump PA remarks, as well as Australia's social media ban and more. I put that in the title, obviously. But there's a lot of things that are happening in the media that I can't fit into the title. So let's just go ahead and give you guys the rundown of what we are discussing this morning. So Japan earthquake. Now this was discussed yesterday right after the show. Japan earthquake 7.6 quake triggers tsunami on northern coast, which is terrible. I was watching this happen kind of in real time, and it was brutal. Nonetheless, there was a cabinet meeting that Trump held yesterday, and it was a long cabinet meeting. But nonetheless, Trump announces $12 billion in aid to farmers, and so we have that. That's like the main part of the whole hour of him speaking, as well as the cabinet. But let me go ahead and read this. President Donald Trump has announced a $12 billion aid package for U.S. farmers. The plan aims to help farmers who have had a difficult time selling their crops because of rising costs. Trump unveiled the plan Monday at the White House, surrounded by officials. So it's interesting. As you guys know, this happened yesterday after the show, including United States Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent. All right, so the announcement comes as frequent changing tariff rates have caused major impacts within the agricultural sector, which is true. Interesting. I wonder where these funds are going to be pulled from. Nonetheless, there was another thing that happened yesterday. Jasmine Crockett speaks after announcing Senate run in Texas. And then we have another one of these Looney Tunes. Bernie Sanders talks AI regulations, inequality during Senate floor speech. Like I was telling you guys about how, the Senate's going to be talking a bit about things like this. And of course, yesterday, AI was one of the main things that Bernie had brought up and they were discussing. Astronauts undock from the International Space Station and return back to Earth, or they begin to return back to Earth. So I love it that they show this kind of shit, but it's really not something I need to go super in depth about. We'll skip around. Oh, that's pretty cool. They're shooting up, flying back down, whatever. All right, cool. But we have a lot of shit that we actually need to discuss here. Just like this, 2 hours ago, Australia's social media ban will take effect. Now let me go ahead and see if there's anything in this. Today, Australia's social media ban for those under 16 will take effect. Media platform fines of up to $33 million. Very interesting, man. Okay, and then another thing that happened just an hour ago, Mid-Atlantic hit with blast after storm system. I'm sure that you guys know that the weather is not the nicest right now. Certain parts of the country are frozen, legitimately. And then we have, as of just 33 minutes ago, Judge grants DOJ request to unseal Maxwell records. That's a W. So that's what we're going to be discussing this morning. So before we get all into it and get crazy with it, we got to do our, call to actions real quick. So make sure you guys hit that like button. Helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so. Very much appreciate your guys' engagement. Also, if you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button because it's also free. But let's go ahead and get into the money part, though. Please consider becoming a member starting only at $2.99 a month. We're making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with anybody, but check it out. This is what allows us to have these lights on as well as be on these airwaves. So thank you, members that sign up, and then also for staying members. Little side note here, follow my Instagram at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, breaking news, all that great shit. It's a great way to get a hold of me one-on-one. We also have a Discord server for you guys. One of the moderators will drop that into the chat for you guys. If you're watching this on the playback, we have the, it's right now. You can go into the description down below and get those links. And last but not least, all super chats, super stickers, gifted memberships, and membership signups are, of course, all going to be presented live and shouted out onto the show. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned cash, well, then we have these platforms right here that, of course, I will read out anything that comes my way, just like a super chat, and you guys can be involved in the conversation, man. So I've got my email up. We're ready to go. And all right. So let's go ahead and pretty much get right into this. I see all you legends in here. I very much appreciate you guys, as well as Motobomb and the Coffee Crew also rating us at the very beginning of the show. So I very much appreciate the Coffee Crew. We got Beezer coming in, dropping in 5 gifted memberships, man. Let's fucking go. I very much appreciate that kind of thing. That goes a long way. My man, absolutely dropping it like it's hot, making it rain. Yes, sir. Not only helping me, but 5 others in the Insane Wheels family, man. So I very much appreciate that. All you legends are in here. I see you. We got Steve Easy as well as the like button, which is Crystal. Good to see you. We got Naomi in the building as well as Jimmy Mac and Mountain Woman. Joseph, my man, up there in Canada, one of our favorite snow Mexicans. Great to see you in the chat. And he says, stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
We got Miss Lotus as well. Good to see you. We got Taylor as well. Good morning to you guys. We got Miss Lotus here. We got Glare. Good to see everyone, man. Thank you all for being here and supporting the show, man. Let's see. We got Extra Surprise as well as Sick Bastard. You guys are fucking legends, man, for real. All right. We got Prez as well as Josephus. Good morning to you guys. Good morning. Trying to catch up as much as I possibly can. We got Josh Phillips. Yes, sir. Great to see you in the chat. Let's see. We're scrolling down as fast as I possibly can. We got Big Dan as well. Yes, sir. And we got Steve Posey. Good morning, Mike Ball and Breakfast Club. Yes, sir. All right, let's get right into this. That was, we just got a lot of shit we need to discuss today. All right, so Japan earthquake. This is what we're going to start off with. It was a 7.6, man. That's fucking humongous.
We are following some breaking news out of Japan. I did want to share this a social media post by Fox Weather indicating that a magnitude 7.6 earthquake has rattled Japan, causing that residence chandelier to shake. And we actually do have that video that I did want to play out right here, sharing a little bit more information about this earthquake. This is the video that you can see the chandelier shaking after a 7.6 magnitude.
Well, shit, I mean, I would expect way more than just a waving around, dangling around fucking light. I mean, what the fuck? I've been involved in earthquakes. I mean, I grew up in California for 29 years and almost 30. And we dealt with earthquakes all the time. It's but not 7.6s. Now, a 7.6, I mean, 7.6 we have dealt with, but I'm just saying 7.6 is usually see a little bit more damage. It's interesting that they showed this.
Earthquake struck Japan. Meanwhile, that earthquake has now triggered a tsunami on Japan's northern coast. This is from Fox 11 LA, stating that Japan's government has...
Oh, real quick, we got Alfred coming in hot. My man, I very much appreciate you, Alfred Patterson, coming in with the $5 on the Cash App, by the way, saying, stop the cap, yo.
Stop the cap.
Gee. I very much appreciate you, kind sir. That adds up, man. Thank you very much.
Issued a tsunami warning covering parts of the eastern coast of Japan. And we do know, according to the Associated Press, that a tsunami has actually hit. This is from Reuters, stating that a tsunami as high as 10 feet could hit Japan's northeastern coast after that earthquake with an estimated magnitude of 7.6. It occurred offshore. That's according to the Japan Meteorological Agency. Now, according to the Associated Press, that earthquake struck
Be a man.
off
That's
northern
so funny.
Japan, triggering a tsunami of up to 40 centimeters in coastal communities there in the region. That quake struck part of the northernmost area of Japan, the main island right there. And it also said that a tsunami of 40 centimeters struck that area as well. Now, several people were injured at a hotel. That's according to the public broadcaster NHK. The prime minister did share some brief comments saying that the government set up an emergency task force to urgently assess the extent
What's up, brother SST? Great to see you in the chat,
of
man.
the damage. But we do have some video of the earthquake. This is just a quick clip of someone living there taking some video of their chandelier.
It's basically the same thing, Jimmy Mac, as what you see here, just on a condensed, smaller side, like a phone version on YouTube. So there's two streams going on at the same time. We've got the horizontal, this one that you're on right now, and then there's another one where it's just like the phone size. So, yeah.
You can see that it is shaking. This is courtesy of Fox Weather. The public broadcaster NHK did say that nuclear power plants in the region are conducting safety checks in response to the earthquake and the tsunami. But that is the information that we have as of now, that a magnitude 7.6 earthquake struck Japan's northern coast, triggering a tsunami of up to 40 centimeters. Any additional information, we, of course...
40 centimeters? That's a tsunami? Oh, well, I mean, I guess somewhere else, not there. Okay, whatever. We're moving on. At least you guys know that that happened yesterday. Full cabinet meeting. Trump announces $12 billion aid to farmers. So this whole thing is an hour. This is a long hour cabinet meeting. And of course, we're not going to play this whole thing. It's not feasible. We do all of these stories in 1 hour. We can't focus that much time on a single thing. But we will go ahead and get the consensus of Trump and what he was trying to convey here. So let's go ahead and just start it off, see what's said at the very beginning. And if there's bullshit, we'll just kind of skip through until the points that we need to get to.
Important number, sacred number. We had 3 states in the last 2 days, reported by our energy group, a group of very strong energy people, who said we hit $1.99 a gallon in 3 different states, and it's an amazing accomplishment because the gasoline prices are coming down. When gasoline comes down, everything, it's such a big category that when gasoline comes down, sort of everything sort of follows. But we inherited a mess, affordability, but you can call it affordability or anything you want, but the Democrats caused the affordability problem. And
real quick, we have Naomi coming in with the 10 fucking months saying, hit the like, you know the rules. Absolutely. Let's go. Thank you very much for the 10 fucking months. That's awesome. And we got Bree Rodriguez in the chat, as well as KP. Always appreciate you guys showing up in the chat as well.
We're the ones that are fixing it. So it's a very simple statement. They caused it, we're fixing it. And they have a tendency to just say, this election's based on affordability. And nobody questions them, John. You know, nobody says, oh, well, what do you mean by that? But they just say the word. They never say anything else because they caused the problem, but we're fixing the problem. And we're pleased to be joined today by many of the wonderful members of the farming community, as well as the Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins. Brooke, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Thank you very much, Scott. Senator Joe.
So those are the people that we really want to hear from. Now he's going to thank a whole bunch of people for minutes. Okay, so now I want to get to the point where he does the announcement.
We inherited something that this relief will provide much needed.
Okay, let me back it up a little bit.
Use that money to provide $12 billion.
I want to hear where that money is coming from, so that's why.
Things AI. So what we're doing is we're taking a relatively small portion of that, and we're going to be giving and providing it to the farmers in economic assistance.
Wait, from a okay, maybe you didn't thank everyone for 40 fucking minutes straight. That's usually what he does, but
The hundreds of billions of dollars we receive in tariffs. We are
okay, so tariff money.
making a lot of money from countries that took advantage of us for years. They took advantage of us like nobody's ever seen. Our deficits are way down because of tariffs. I guess because of the election, because without the election, you wouldn't have tariffs. You'd be sitting here losing your shirt. But we're taking in billions. We're really taking in trillions of dollars, if you think about it, Scott, because the real number is, when you think of all the money being poured into the country for new auto plants and all of the other things, AI. So,
Yeah, but those are separate. I mean, yes, you helped bring business here and then do actual deals, business deals with the, from the government and having these different big companies around the world invest in us.
what we're doing is...
But that really wasn't super. I mean, people are doing that because they want to do business with America. They see Trump is doing well in somewhat. But especially with trade, that's one thing that you can't fuck with him on. He has brought a lot of, trillions and trillions of dollars of investments, which is true, very true. But I like to stick with the fact here of what's happening, not just making up numbers or whatever. Right?
We're taking a relatively small portion of that, and we're going to be giving and providing it to the farmers in economic assistance. And we love our farmers, and as you know, the farmers like me because based on voting trends, you could call it voting trends or anything else, but they're great people. They're the backbone of our country. So we're going to use that money to provide $12 billion in economic assistance to American farmers. $12 billion is a lot of money, Merrill. What do you think? Peanuts for you, though, right? Peanuts. She's a farmer of rice. This relief will provide much-needed certainty to farmers as they get this year's harvest to market and look ahead to next year's crops, and it'll help them continue their efforts to lower food prices for American families. And again, we inherited something that we inherited the worst inflation in the history of our country, and we're taking care of it. Farmers are an indispensable national asset, part of the backbone of America. I've always felt it so strongly. They're so important. Unfortunately, under sleepy Joe Biden, he was a sleepy guy. Our farmers were crushed by the worst inflation in modern history and crippling restrictions on energy, water, and countless other necessities for farmers. And what they did to the farmer in terms of putting the brakes on was just absolutely unacceptable. In my first term, we had an agricultural trade surplus by a lot. We had a big surplus, meaning that we were exporting American agricultural products all over the world, making a net profit, and in many cases, a very substantial profit.
Real quick, we got 318 of you guys in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button, as well as double tap that screen if you're on the vertical side. I very much appreciate your guys' engagement. You guys don't have to like the craziness around the world, but you guys can like it for me and what we do here.
He came in and ruined it. Biden turned that surplus into a gaping agricultural deficit that continues to this day, but we're knocking it down. It's starting to go very good. In fact, China, as you know, is buying a tremendous amount of soybeans, and the number, I spoke with President Xi recently, very recently, and I think he's going to do even more than he promised to do. So I think the relationship is a very good one. I think he's going to do more than he promised to do, and what he promised to do is a lot. So we're very happy with that. In the last year, Biden bankruptcies rose by 55%, having to do with farms. So farm bankruptcies under Joe Biden went up 55%. That's not good. But now we're once again in a position where a president is able to put farmers first. But unfortunately, I'm the only president that does that. On day one, I terminated the Green New Scam. Energy prices are down. Gasoline prices are down. We've slashed record numbers of crippling regulations, and we're working on huge trade deals, already securing $60 billion in agricultural purchase commitments. And, Biden made none. He didn't make any trade deals having to do with the farmers or any of it. It's crazy. China committed, he was the worst president in the history of our country, by the way, in case anybody has any questions. China committed over $40 billion of soybean purchases, and that's a commitment. And I asked President Xi if he could even up it. And I think he'll do that. I mean, not a commitment, the $40 billion is a commitment, but the soybean farmers are quite happy. Since my successful meeting in South Korea with President Xi, purchases have been made and soybeans are being exported out of the United States to China as we speak. And I say that our soybeans, I told this to President Xi, our soybeans are more nutritious than competitors. Somebody said, is that a Trump statement or is that real? In fact, you know who asked me that question? President Xi asked me that question. He said, really, I had never heard of it. And he was a food purchaser for a long time. But that's what I hear. And Japan agreed to $8 billion in purchases of corn, soybeans, ethanol, fertilizer, aviation, biofuel, and rice. You know, Japan never bought rice from anybody else. It's like a very important thing to them. And they agreed to buy rice, okay?
Well, they are very staunch. That is true regarding rice in Japan.
So I also proudly signed into law the largest tax cuts in history and the one big beautiful bill, the monumental tax relief bill that is benefiting very, very strongly benefiting the American farmer. And I think also for farmers, we have, as you know, and we got this, the estate tax or the death tax, as they call it, on farmers, on small businesses. You don't have to pay it anymore. A lot of farms, when you love your children, and your children are great, and they want to be farmers, and you leave the farm and your children, and a lot of farms are, sort of cash poor, land rich, cash poor, and the kids would go to the local bank or to any bank and they'd borrow money to pay the estate tax, and they'd end up losing the farm. They go bankrupt, and a lot of debt too. And, literally, because they love their farm and they love their business and they love that way of life, they end up committing suicide. A lot of suicides. We have no more estate tax. How about that? Do you have children?
I do.
Well, let them know. Now, if you love your children, then it's good. If you don't love your children, you don't have to leave them anything. It doesn't matter what I just said.
They're still young.
I have a feeling you love your
Still
children.
love them.
I have a feeling you love your children. But the estate tax is a very big thing. So you don't have estate tax. You die, you leave your farm or whatever, or small business to your children, you don't have to pay estate tax. It seems to affect the farmer more than anybody else. Because you could have a farm that's very valuable, and therefore you have to pay a big tax, but it's not a big value in terms of cash. Maximizing domestic farm production is a big part of how we will make America affordable again and bring down grocery prices for American families. And again, these are prices that we inherited. When I left, we were doing incredible. In 4 years, what they've done to this country and so many, and not even mentioning the border and the criminals allowed into our country and all of the other. So I just want to say it's a tremendous honor being with you. I'd now like to ask Secretary Rollins to provide some of the details, followed by Secretary Bessent, Director of the National Economic Council, Kevin Hassett, Senator Bozeman, Representative Scott.
Okay, now, like I told you guys in the very beginning here, we condense about 9 major stories per morning in an hour. I cannot sit here and watch a whole hour of this, obviously. We're only 10 minutes in, and it goes for another 50 minutes. So we are going to have to move on, though, because we have other things in the news that are pressing. So that cabinet meeting was in particular about the $12 billion going to the farmers and the farming aid. Basically, that money is coming from the tariff money. So anyways, we're moving on. Jasmine Crockett speaks after announcing Senate run in Texas. Now, this is also long as fuck too, but we're not going to be listening to it whatsoever on a lengthy scale, okay? We're going to just get the consensus of what's happening here, and then we're moving on into Bernie Sanders. So, all right, so stick around for this. Let's go ahead and bring this up, and we'll go ahead and discuss it. But before we do, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into this whole story real quick, let me go ahead and, let's get the money part over.
All right, just get the money part done.
Give me money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
All right, perfect.
Denied.
Here we go.
How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crockett. How about her? She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crockett. They're in big trouble.
Oh, they did an AI thing for this girl.
But you have this woman, Crockett. She's a very low IQ person.
I watched her speak
That part
the
was
other
true?
day. She's definitely a low IQ person. Crockett.
So I assumed that was AI at first, but now I hear that some of these are actually, as far as I can tell, legitimate things he has said.
Oh, man. She's a very low IQ person.
Somebody said the other day she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding.
Now they're going to rely on Crockett. Crockett's going to bring them back.
That's right, Doomerang. What's up, my man? Okay, let's see what happens here. It's a fairly big turnout. I will actually say that. So let's go ahead and skip ahead where she actually comes out.
I look real good.
There we go. Shit.
But are you fired up?
Are you furred up?
Ready to go?
You guys furred up? Real quick, we got Taylor coming in with the 99 cents. Let's fucking go. Appreciate you making it rain in the chat. Let's go. Thank you for that, Taylor.
Texas. Let's get down to it. I know y'all are ready to hear some good news, and some of y'all already heard it before you even got here. Yes, it is true. I am running to become your next United States Senator from the state of Texas. I honestly can't put into words what it means to me.
Let me go ahead and speed her up a little bit. Let's go to 1.25.
See, a lot of people think that making decisions like this, you take them lightly. I'm here to tell you that I understand that there's a responsibility. I'm not reading from my script, so they're about to be confused. There's a responsibility that lies with all of us, especially in this moment. There are a lot of people that said, you gotta stay in the house. We need our voice. We need you there. And I understand. But what we need is for me to have a bigger voice. What we need is not only a voice, but we need to make sure that we are going to stop all the hell that is raining down on all of our people. So over the last couple of months, I've been thinking about our future. Where do we go from here?
I see JR Bowling is in the chat. By the way, if you guys don't know who this is our next Alabama State Senator, District 4, by the way. Absolutely. I see he's getting a kick out of this Crockett.
And obviously, I've been thinking about Texas. I thought about my classmates from law school. One is standing right up front, Mr. Anthony Farmer. I thought about the big dreams we all had, fighting for justice in the courtroom, starting our own businesses, buying a home, starting families. If you think about it, our dreams were the American dream. Opportunities for those who work hard, home ownership, jobs, entrepreneurship, and security. And that time, we were headed into the Great Recession. I took a job in East Texas for a pretty well-known family-owned law firm. I began doing class action defense work. And honestly, I wondered if I'd made a mistake. I wondered if that was really what I was supposed to be doing. It just so happened that they had just started a new public defender's office in rural East Texas. And so I decided that I would join that public defender's office. I joined it because I believed everybody deserved a voice in the courtroom. Even if they couldn't afford an attorney, one would be provided to them, and that attorney was me. I loved being a courtroom warrior. I got some judges here. They probably can't identify themselves, but nevertheless, I loved being in the courtroom. You know, I never thought that I would run for office, but some people are able to inspire others as they walk their own path.
Man, she is saying a lot of words and shit. Spit it out. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ, get to it.
A few moments later.
27-year-old public defender walking in her path, there was someone who came along and inspired me. There was this charismatic, funny, intelligent, and exciting young candidate with a funny name who just got into the U.S. Senate and was running for president. Many doubted if this country was ready, while others, well, we got to work and kept hope alive. We didn't focus on the naysayers. We didn't get distracted by any pollsters. We remained laser focused on getting the person who was best for the job into the seat. We didn't let history diminish our hope in what was possible. We ignored that the devil on our shoulder that sometimes tries to tell us your vote doesn't matter. The country's not ready. He can't win. And responded with that timeless American creed, yes, we can.
Oh my goodness. Jesus.
Bruh.
Yes, I'm talking about President Barack Obama. How many no's do you think he heard before he got a yes?
Oh my goodness.
No, you can't win.
That goes for everybody.
No, the country's not ready for a black president.
Oh
no,
my
a black
God.
man can't get elected. No, your middle name is Hussein. No, you can't
I'm so tired of that shit, dude.
beat the Clinton machine. But every time they told him no, he looked them right in the eyes and he told them yes. He said yes.
And he told him, shit, back to
We
this.
can. Yes, we can deliver on health care. Yes, we can enshrine equal rights. Yes, we can bring jobs back to America, create opportunities for all. And yes, we can save the economy after a Republican president sends it into the gutter. People ran lies, rumors, and tried to poke holes in everything about Obama, from his faith to his heritage. Falsehoods about his daddy, mistruths about his mama. There was even a question about his birth certificate. But he didn't let any of that get in his way. He worked and worked and worked to inspire and instill a sense of hope. And man, do I remember. I remember hoping. Now, I don't know if I really believed. But I knew that we had to try. I knew that we had the power. He turned those no, you can'ts into yes, we cans. Yes, we deserve better. Yes, we will dig deep. Yes.
I'm surprised anybody actually buys any of this shit anymore. Honestly, I'm surprised that anybody falls for it. Just saying.
We can. Back then, as the housing bubble burst and the economy crashed, I saw everyone around me struggling. I saw a system that ignored them and legal system that failed them. Then I remembered Obama's words. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. So many of you don't know, but I was 28 by now. And I decided that I was gonna run to become the Bowie County Democratic Party chair. I was elected as the youngest Black Democratic Party chair in the history of Texas. Later, I moved to Dallas, and frustrated by the broken laws on our books, I ran for the Texas House of Representatives to be that agent of change. I took on the establishment, ran against an incumbent, and there were folks in my ear, that devil on my shoulder, that said I could not win. I was being outspent 5-1. And even those that said I had to be less of myself, I tuned that noise out. And even though I was outspent, I was never outworked. When I look across this room, I see folks who knocked on doors for me back then in 2020. I see people
What's up, Papa Penguin in the chat? My man, great to see you.
who believed in me before any viral moments. I see people who believed that I could and would be different. I see the people that locked arms with me. Some of those elected officials that went out on a limb and endorsed me when nobody else would. You see, I didn't get anywhere on my own. Every step of the way has been with you. The people who have fueled this fire. You've chipped in your hard-earned money. Hey, donors, because I see some of y'all too. You put in the sweat equity under the hot Texas sun, knocking on doors, putting out signs. You've driven your neighbors to the polls, dragged your co-workers to go vote. You're the ones who walk your precincts, register thousands of voters, and you're the ones who flip seats across the state at every level. When Texas turns blue, it won't be because of any one candidate, but because of each and every one of you doing your part. Turning Texas blue is what I want to talk to y'all about today. Now, there are those that say, ain't no way, we done tried it 50 kinds of ways. Let me be clear, y'all ain't never tried it the JC way.
Shit.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
We used to telling us what I can't do, but they have no idea what Crockett's crew will do.
Oh shit.
So I just want to be clear, for all the haters in the back, listen up real loud. We gonna get this thing done.
Shit, girl. Go off, queen.
So they tell us that Texas is red. They are lying. We're not. The reality is that most Texans don't get out to vote. The reality is that the people that I used to work with in the Texas House did everything that they could to make sure that they could suppress voices. If we were so red, they wouldn't be so pressed. Let me be clear. The reason that the governor always got time to call out my name is because he understands that I know how to speak to everybody, not just some folk. There are folks who feel like their vote doesn't matter and that nothing will change or that candidates don't speak to them. And honestly, I can't blame them. But I'm here to address those Texans specifically who feel as their vote doesn't matter. Let me tell you it does. Earlier, I talked about my first race for state representative, and I talked about the fact that I was outspent 5-1. They had the money, but I had the people. When the first batch of votes came out, I was down by 700 votes. I told my team it was over. Carmen, who's right up front, rushes down and says, no, we about to go to elections. I said, y'all, it's over. We've been voting for 3 weeks and we down by 700. We ain't coming back. Around 10 o'clock, somehow somebody...
Real quick, Taylor coming in, dropping another buck on the counter right there, man. Shit, I very much appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Rep, you only down, well, I wasn't rep then. You only down by 50 votes. I said, oh, we getting good. We getting good. I said, now y'all tell me what's still out. Is anything out? Are we done? because it was getting late. And they said, MLK is still out. I said, oh.
Oh, shit.
I said, if anybody came through for me, it was gonna be MLK. And when I tell y'all, when the votes were counted, I had won by 90 votes.
Damn, 90?
Out of 10,000 votes that were cast, I won by 90.
Damn.
It was the closest state house race in the entire state of Texas that year.
I can guarantee
Do you know
that.
where those votes came from? They came from the mom who organized the entire neighborhood to go vote because she knew
that shit is true, though. She is right about that part. Absolutely. Listen, man, you got to get out there. If you're going to be, involved in politics, you can't just really buy your way. You gotta build a fucking community, and that's something that I've learned on the campaign trail myself.
Fight like hell for her daughter. It came from the retired firefighter who talked to each and
What's
every
up,
one of his or her neighbors in the senior homes and the people that they lived around. It came from everywhere. It came from the churches. It came from home healthcare workers who ran across the street to vote at the library during their lunch break. It came from citizens who hadn't voted in years, but went to cast their ballots because they believed that I would bring a new generation of servant leadership to the government of the people, by the people, for the people. Each and every one of those votes made up the 90 votes we needed to bring change, and I'm gonna add this.
Okay, cool. So what are you getting down to with this whole speech? Like, okay, you're gonna announce that you announce a bid for the U.S. Senate. Okay, cool. But like, get to that. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit, you gotta have like a whole hour speech to get to this shit?
Sitting around doing nothing while Trump takes your hard-earned money.
Oh my goodness.
Stop the cap.
Skims your Social Security, slashes Medicare, and gives tax breaks to billionaires. I'm done. I'm done watching the American dream on life support while Trump tries to pull the plug. The gloves have been off, and now I'm jumping into the ring. I'm asking for your support to be the next United States Senator from the greatest state of Texas.
So that's what I was waiting for right there, so that we can finally fucking move on. So that's what is in the news. And of course, I show you guys unbiasedly both sides of what is happening in the world, whether it be, when we're talking world news, geopolitics, stuff like this. Of course, we always stay objective, as well as same thing with American politics, same thing. So anyways, speaking from the other side, Bernie Sanders talks AI regulations, inequality during Senate floor speech yesterday. Let's go ahead and bring this up, and we'll go ahead and talk about it real quick. But also, one thing I just need to remind everybody, that you need to embrace your fuck-ups.
Don't beat yourself up over past mistakes. You are going to fuck up again in the future, quite possibly in a most spectacular fashion. Why worry about yesterday's fuck-ups when you have tomorrow's fuck-ups to look forward to? You are a fuck-up, and fucking up is part of your growth process. Embrace the process.
Embrace the process.
Oh my God!
All right, here we go.
Thanks for watching live now from Fox. I'm Shauna Kalafi. We have lots of news and live events to get to today. Right now, this is a live look at the Capitol. This afternoon, Senator Bernie Sanders speaking on the Senate floor about AI and the potential dangers and uses of artificial intelligence. Let's listen to what he had to say.
People on the planet, President Trump wants to deny states the right to regulate artificial intelligence through an executive order. What he is proposing is not only unconstitutional, it is extremely dangerous. Artificial intelligence.
And that's something that I would hate to have to agree with him on that stance as well, Steve Easy. I mean, that is a fucking terrible thing that we are involved in, where we just give all of our fucking money away. I mean, we don't have the bet like that. We're talking billions and billions, if not trillions. Well, dude, it's $1 trillion a year just in NATO. I mean, just like, okay, so we fund fucking the entire world, but we can't handle our own people? Are you serious, bro? That shit is whack.
Intelligence and robotics will transform the world. We don't know exactly how, and no one can predict with precision the timeline. But no one should doubt that enormous and consequential changes are coming, which will impact our economy, our political life, foreign policy, our emotional well-being, our environment, and how we educate and raise our kids. Further, and this is not science fiction, some very knowledgeable people believe that in the not-too-distant future, a super-intelligent AI could replace human beings in controlling the planet. Despite the extraordinary importance...
Because I hate his cadence, the way that he speaks. It's just really rough to listen to. We're going to put him on 1.5 times playback speed.
Importance of this issue and the speed at which it is progressing, AI is getting far too little discussion in Congress, the media, and within the general population. That has got to change. Several months ago, as a ranking member of the U.S. Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions, my staff and I undertook an investigation regarding the monumental changes that we face with the rapid development of AI. Last month, I held a public discussion at Georgetown University with Nobel Prize winner Dr. Geoffrey Hinton, considered to be the godfather of AI, to get his views on a wide variety of AI-related subjects. Based on our investigation and other information that we are gathering, my staff and I will soon be presenting a very specific set of recommendations as to how we can begin addressing some of the unprecedented threats that AI poses. And as we go forward, here are some of the outstanding questions that, in my view, must be answered. Simple question, and maybe the most important. Who will be in charge of the transformation into an AI world? Currently, a handful of the wealthiest people on Earth, people like Elon Musk.
Man, I very much appreciate that, Gmod. I very much appreciate that, man.
Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg.
We do this Monday through Friday.
Are investing many hundreds of billions of dollars in developing and implementing AI and robotics. Are we comfortable with seeing these enormously wealthy and powerful men shape the future of humanity without any democratic input or oversight? Why does President Trump, who is strongly supporting their efforts, want to impose an executive order blocking states from regulating AI? What does it mean that Peter Thiel, the billionaire investor and co-founder of Palantir, has called those who want regulations over AI, quote, legionnaires of the Antichrist, end quote? Does this elite group of some of the most powerful people on Earth believe that they have the divine right to rule like the kings of the 18th century? That's one question. Another question. What impact will AI and robotics have on our economy and the lives of working people? And I can tell you, Mr. President, as somebody who has spoken to groups all over this country, that working people today are very nervous about what AI and robotics will mean.
I just don't understand what Bernie wants to do. Like, what kind of limit are you going to put on AI? Just like Papa Penguin said in the chat just a little bit ago, AI's like an out of the genie fucking bottle. There's no way we're putting that shit back. It's screwed. It's already over. It's already over. So what are you gonna do?
To them. The report that my staff and I released last month found that AI, automation, and robotics could lead to nearly the loss of 100 million jobs in America over the next decade, including 40% of registered nurses, 47% of truck drivers, 64% of accountants, 65% of teaching assistants, and 89% of fast food workers. In other words, what we're going to see is AI and robotics impacting not just blue-collar workers, but white-collar workers as well. Mr. President, Elon Musk recently said, and I quote, that AI and robots will replace all jobs. Working will be optional, end of quote. Mr. Musk is investing hundreds of billions of dollars into AI and robotics. I suspect he knows something about what he is talking about. Let me repeat. Elon Musk, quote, AI and robots will...
By the way, AI is not going to take away all jobs, by the way, just so you guys know.
Replace all jobs.
There's still people that got to create the AI. There's people that got to code the AI. There's people that got to maintain AI. Of course, there's still people that fucking going to work in this shit.
Working will be optional, end quote. Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft, predicted that humans, quote, won't be needed for most things, end quote. Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, warned that AI could lead to the loss of half of all entry-level white-collar jobs. Mr. President, if AI and robotics eliminate millions of jobs and create massive unemployment, how will people survive if they have no income? How do they feed their families, pay for housing, pay for healthcare? That might be an issue that we should be talking about like yesterday. Further, Mr. President, What impact will AI have on our democracy? Some of us, maybe not all here in Washington, but some of us actually do believe in democracy and the right of ordinary people to control the future. At a time when the foundations of democracy are under attack here in the United States and throughout the world, will AI and robotics help make us a freer society, or will it give even more power to the oligarchs who control and own the technology? Will AI result in a massive invasion of our privacy and our civil liberties? Larry Ellison, the second richest person on earth who is also investing huge amounts of money into AI, predicted an AI-powered surveillance state where, quote, Larry Ellison, quote, citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that is going on, end quote.
Yeah, real quick, Steve, I got to say one thing about that. Yeah, he's actually stayed consistent in his stances. That's the one thing that I can give Bernie right there.
Second richest guy on earth, heavily investing in AI, and this is what he says: citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that is going on, end of quote. Are we reaching the stage where every phone call that we make, every email and text that...
I wonder if Bernie had ChatGPT or whatever fucking throw out a script on, you know, what to say on this.
we send, every bit of research that we do on the internet will be available to the billionaire owners of AI. And if that is the case, how do we sustain a democracy under those conditions? Further, Mr. President, in terms of...
That's right. I appreciate you, Taylor. We'll see you on the flip side.
Another vitally important question. Could AI literally redefine what it means to be a human being? Could AI literally redefine what it means to be human? Who we are and how we develop emotionally and intellectually is highly dependent upon our relationships with other human beings. Our parents, family, teachers, lovers, friends, and coworkers. To quote the 17th century poet John Donne, quote, no man is an island unto himself, end quote. The human beings with whom we interact help shape us to become the people.
Okay, well, aside from you just bitching about it so far, I haven't heard a solution of what you want to bring or propose to the table. Are you just trying to raise awareness? I mean, what the fuck is happening here, Bernie? But I got to move on. We got so much shit to still get through. And right now we're not even we got astronauts undocked from the International Space Station, begin return to Earth yesterday, and fuck, I can't even get to that. We got so much shit to do. All right, we got to move into Australia's social media ban will take effect. And this came out just a couple of hours ago. So let me go ahead and bring this up real quick, and we'll go ahead and discuss it. Here we go.
We turn now to a story that's getting a lot of people talking and also set to make history. Take a look at this. This is a social media post by Reuters. Australia is set to become the first country to implement a minimum age for social media use, with platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube forced to block more than 1 million accounts, marking the beginning of an expected global wave of regulation. So this is a live look right here of the Sydney Harbour as this ban is set to take effect later on today. A little bit more information. Australia's world first social media ban for under 16-year-olds will take effect at midnight today local time, forcing major platforms to block users or...
So anyone that's 16 or younger on social media in Australia is being banned.
Face heavy fines. All of this aimed to protecting children from harmful content and mental health risks. And this has been getting a lot of folks talking right here as social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Kik, Reddit, Snapchat, Threads, TikTok, X, YouTube, and Twitch will start facing fines after this ban is implemented at midnight if they fail to take...
It's like up to like $33 million.
Reasonable steps to remove those accounts. Meta, which owns Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, was the first tech giant to react, beginning to exclude suspected young children last week. While the law allows parents no discretion to allow their children to hold social media accounts, there is a role for parents in regulating their social media use. So we want to bring you into the conversation because no doubt a lot of folks have an opinion. And we want to ask you if you agree with Australia's ban on social media for children under the age.
I do not agree with this.
Age of 16. This is a live vote right here. 3 answers.
You need to have the parents need to fucking regulate their parent or their kids' phone and social media use, especially if they're under 18, man. I mean, it's just the way of the road. Should be up to the parents. I mean, that's my vote, man.
For you, yes, no, or it should be up to the parents. All you have to do is scan the QR code.
I don't care about that.
Would it be on?
We'll
and you
allow
also,
this
and
to.
this would be children. If you're been a lot, this is how they go on
So
TikTok.
most people are saying yes, they agree with it. I do not agree with more fucking government. Okay, sorry, I don't agree with that kind of shit like that. That's very interesting though. That majority of even probably you guys are going to say the same thing. That yes, you do agree with it. Very interesting.
Share with you a story that's making headlines. Australia is set to become the world's first country to implement a social media ban for children under the age of 16.
Wow, so the very first country to do it. I didn't know that.
That will take place at midnight tonight, and that is facing major platforms like YouTube and Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok to either block users or face heavy fines. Now, lawmakers who supported this say that this is meant to protect children from harmful content or mental health risks. And this is being very closely followed by countries around the world who are also considering similar legislation. So we're going to close that poll out for you right now, but 80% of you so far say that you do support Australia's ban on social media for children under the age of 16. Just 2 say no percent, and 17% say it should be up to the parents.
All right, so we're going to move on. Mid-Atlantic hit with blast after storm system. All right, so not really sure what they mean by storm system, but this came out 2 hours ago. So we're going to figure out, because I think that you guys know that a lot of the United States is not feeling, they're frozen up. There's a lot of different places that are getting just smoked by the weather right now.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. We are continuing to follow the bitter cold that's impacting millions of people in the mid-Atlantic after they already received some snow on the ground. Now folks are having to deal with both. And for more on this, I do want to head live to Fox weather correspondent Katie Byrne, who is live in North Carolina. Katie, I do see some coating of snow there on the ground. What's the latest?
Well, all the snow that you're seeing has essentially turned into ice overnight because we dipped into the teens here in Richmond, where it's actually one of the snowiest Decembers they've had in decades. And we're not even halfway through the month yet. So if you take a look around, you'll see we're kind of on a corner here. We've got a little bit of sidewalk, a little bit of street, but we have a lot of ice. This all right here, no cars coming. All right, has turned into a very slick, thick layer of ice because everything that melted after the snow came down yesterday, which was about 3.5 inches of snow.
That microphone is shit, by the way. Get this lady a real microphone, please. You guys got unlimited funding and shit. Let's go.
Just froze with those temperatures dipping to 18 degrees here in Richmond. We still have been seeing, though, some people trying to get to work this morning. So the sidewalks, they haven't been cleared where we are, right downtown. And that's been tough for people who are on foot trying to get to where they're going. And then the roads where you see people driving, those are just covered in this kind of icy layer. So it's a bit quieter than normal. We've got government offices opening late this morning, not until noon, and school is out for kids for the third snow day of the season and the third snow day in a row, by the way, because this is the second snowstorm to hit Richmond in a span of 4 days. We had a crew here on Friday covering snow. They got about 2 inches from that one. That shut down schools.
So, there's a lot of, this is not just obviously just one, they're just highlighting one story here, but there's, countless places that got snow, are under snow, in snow right now, cold as fuck. It's miserable. Thank God I don't live in the snow. All right, we're moving on though. Judge grants DOJ request to unseal Maxwell records. All right, let's go ahead and bring this up.
We do have some breaking news to share with you at this hour. This is from the Associated Press, stating that a federal judge said the Justice Department can publicly release investigative materials from a sex trafficking case against Ghislaine Maxwell, the longtime confidant of Jeffrey Epstein. And I did want to share just a little bit more information as you're taking a look at some file footage of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. The Justice Department stating that it can publicly release investigative materials from a sex trafficking case case against Ghislaine Maxwell. That is according to a federal judge who decided on this morning, making that ruling after the Justice Department in November asked 2 judges in New York to unseal grand jury transcripts and exhibits from Maxwell and Epstein's cases, along with investigative materials that could amount to hundreds or thousands of previously unreleased documents. That ruling, in the wake of the passage last month of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, means these records could be made public within 10 days.
Wow, so we're looking at a time frame of about 10 days? Wow, this shit's about to get real. Awesome.
Requires the Justice Department to provide Epstein-related records to the public in a searchable format by December 19th. The judge is the second judge to allow the Justice Department to publicly disclose previously secret Epstein court records. Last week, the judge in Florida granted the department's request to release transcripts from an abandoned federal grand jury investigation into Epstein back in the 2000s. So we did want to share that very latest information, as a judge has now decided the Justice Department can publicly release investigative materials from a sex trafficking case against Ghislaine Maxwell, the longtime confidant of Jeffrey Epstein. That is according to a federal judge who made that ruling earlier today.
All right, so very interesting that came out, and we're going to go ahead and end off with this. It's in the title of today's show. I didn't think that we'd be able to see any of it because usually these kind of things happen, at the end, or if, by the end of the day, shit comes out, I'm only on here for an hour, usually anyways. Sometimes we extend it to an hour and 20 minutes. But anyways, we got Senate discussion on Obamacare. And some things about AI, I think, but we're going to go ahead and bring this up and we'll go ahead and discuss it here. And here we go. This is just as of like 20 minutes ago. 30 minutes
The previous order, the leadership time is reserved. Morning business is closed. Under the previous order, the Senate will proceed to executive session and resume consideration of the following
convenes ahead of Thursday's ACA tax credit vote.
Nomination, which the clerk will report.
So Obamacare, Affordable Care Act, by the way, ACA.
Nomination, the Judiciary, Robert P. Chamberlain of Mississippi to be United States District Judge.
Just so you guys know, this shit's going to go like fucking all day, guaranteed.
For the Northern District.
Mr. President.
President Pro Tem.
Since 2023, Sudan has been engulfed.
Oh boy, here we go. Let me go ahead and... Why are we talking about Sudan? I'm thinking I'm going to have to put this guy at 1.5.
In a civil war between the Sudanese armed forces under the government of that country and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, it's called.
What does that have to do with fucking the Affordable Care Act?
And it's termed in the paper and reports regularly as Rapid Support Forces, as RSF. After an 18-month siege of El Fasher in the Darfur region, RSF forces took control and the Sudanese armed forces retreated. Now the RSF controls roughly half of the country of Sudan. Following the violent takeover of El Fasher, there have been...
Yeah, no kidding, Doomer. Maybe I'll even bring him up to 1.75. See if it sounds too fast.
Reports of mass killings, reports of execution, and reports of sexual violence.
That's better.
According to the Humanitarian Research Lab at Yale University, satellite imagery found evidence of mass killings and executions. The Humanitarian Research Lab also alleges war crimes, including the targeting of health facilities, targeting of workers, patients, and even humanitarian aid workers. Through the course of this conflict, millions have been displaced and tens of thousands have been killed.
Okay, very, very compelling story here, Senator Chuck. But what does that got to fucking do with the ACA? I mean, come on, man.
A few moments later.
Are you just bringing up something else that you want to... what's happening?
The United Nations has determined that the conflict in Sudan is one of the worst humanitarian crises in the world. Our own country, the United States, has condemned reports of mass atrocities committed by the RSF in El Fasher. The United States has gone as far as in January 2025 to declare that the RSF
You be safe out there, Steve Easy.
and its allied militias are committing genocide in Sudan. The atrocities in Sudan are not just a foreign tragedy. I have been hearing from Sudanese Iowans who have families in Sudan. I wish the Trump administration well as it attempts to bring the violence to a halt, and I've heard President Trump
yeah, when you speak that slow, I mean, you're not able to get out as much as you fucking want to get out within the time slot that you get. You know, maybe you get 5 minutes at a time to be able to say something. Your opener maybe can be 10, 15 minutes, but they limit you. But motherfucker, if you speak that slow, I mean, brutal. So what we're going to do is, just real quick, I'm going to speed up here and see if we get anybody talking about the ACA legitimately here. I mean, it'd be nice to see if there's anything actually going on regarding that. But we may have to just catch the highlights tomorrow. And I mean, that's unfortunately why I do, you know, from the time that we get off of the show this morning, I'm going to be watching what's happening today to be able to present to you guys tomorrow. That's, you know, that's essentially how we do it. And then we've got the morning stuff, and then we figure that out together.
Tragedy. Nick Mick has identified more than 36 young men in the United States who died by suicide after being sextorted. We are joined by one of those families. I said hello to Mrs. Woods and thank her for being here. But she lost.
Okay, real quick. Let me go ahead and bring this down. He speaks a little bit faster.
Her son James, 17 years old, when he was targeted. She's here in a courageous capacity, and thank you for being here, transforming unbearable loss into call for action. That photograph of your son in his track outfit in front of the hurdles tells the story.
So this is some judiciary committee hearing protecting children online, and this is okay. So I see what's kind of happening here. There's two different things here happening, but nonetheless, we can figure that out fucking tomorrow, because we'll have the highlights of everything. So let me go ahead and figure out who's live right now that we can send you guys off to a raid to, and let's go ahead and figure that out together. Real quick, while I get that up, let me go ahead and bring up one thing real quick, because this did happen, and I was going to present this to you guys earlier. Here it is. While I figure out who we're raiding, I'll go ahead and end off with this story right here.
Welcome back into Live Now from Fox. I'm Shauna Kalafi. We are monitoring a live event happening right now as a NASA spacecraft is preparing to undock from the International Space Station and head back here to Earth. 3 astronauts are on board. We watched a few hours ago as they closed the hatch of that spacecraft, preparing for departure, and that is scheduled here in the next half hour or so. The spacecraft launched and docked at the International Space Station on April 8th, and those 3 astronauts have now completed a 245-day stay aboard the station, orbiting Earth almost 4,000 times and traveling almost 104 million miles. Let's listen in now as the spacecraft prepares to undock at the International Space Station.
20,000 feet above the Earth, traveling quite fast. That will occur at 10:41 p.m. Central, 11:41 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay, cool. Now let's go ahead and actually get to that launch departure, because that would be cool to actually see since we brought it up. It's about to happen. There it goes. Okay, the undocking's right here. It's kind of loud. Let's bring that down.
About 30 seconds away from physical separation.
Bring it. He wasn't joking when he said 30 seconds. Make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out, by the way. I very much appreciate all of you guys coming and hanging out with us. There it goes.
0441.
That was anticlimactic as fuck.
Docking system mode is complete. Soft dock is not lit. I have attitude system readiness 1 and 2. And indicator mode is not lit.
Burns being conducted.
That's totally crazy, though. What a trip. All right. We figured out who we're rating, so we're going to send you guys on over to our buddy Stacks. He's live right now. So stick around for that and let him know we're coming through with the Mike Ball raid. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back tomorrow morning for more of the World's Madness as we continue down this truth-seeking adventure. Very much appreciate all of your guys' engagement, hitting that like button, sending donations, being engaging in the chat. I very much appreciate all of it, man. So, anyways, we'll be back tomorrow morning for more of the World's Madness here at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern. Listen, this is what we do Monday through Friday. Then we have Saturday morning where we have our members-only live streams, man. It's a great time. So, all right. God bless everyone. We'll talk to you guys very soon. Much love.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning.